my opinion, I think that the layer one technologies and networks, the ones that are going to survive the coming regulations and bear markets, I think are the ones that are partnered up, because it's not about what you know, it's about who you know, really. And the fact that Ethereum was able to pretty much get a slap on the wrist, or not even, face the same consequences as Ripple, and Ethereum clearly had an ICO and they were just left off the hook. It's because it's who they know, right? Same thing with Ripple. They know a lot of very powerful people. They're connected, and they have connections with the IMF, with the ECB, with the BIS, with the World Bank in general, like the World Economic Forum. So it's just that it's like a show that's being put on, right? Because regulations and technology and adoption is at least 5 years behind, because we're seeing most of it still happening on Ethereum, which is very, very bad for the environment. It's not aligning with their global climate change agenda. So what they're gonna have to do is they're gonna have to either we're gonna have to be waiting on Ethereum 2, and if Ethereum 2 doesn't do what it deliver what it was promising to do, then people are just gonna leave that and then focus on what's actually growing more and actually retaining that adoption. It's about retention, really, because a lot of the Ethereum people, they're going to be able to literally, because of interoperability, because of how agnostic Ethereum is with other chains, and it's a really good layer one to begin with, even though a lot of people have their own opinions about it because of how unusable it is due to the high fees. People are going to be able to migrate and come over to HBAR, to XDC, XRP Ledger, Avalanche even. We're seeing a lot of that already happening. Just like in the beginning of this year, we were seeing a lot of growth with the Binance Smart Chain. A lot of the building, kind of shifted from Ethereum in the first few months of this year to the Binance Smart Chain, and now shifting over to Avalanche and Solana. So that's what we're seeing right now, and I think that we're seeing like a small blip, a small like preview of what's to come in the coming 5 years when it comes to global adoption and utility, that these layer one technologies like HBAR can facilitate. So look at the S&P 500 enterprise software company joins the Hedera governing council. If you want to know how well partnered and connected Hedera Hashgraph is, look at this graphic right here. Let me give you an idea of what Hedera is going to be able to accomplish in the coming years, guys, just based on who they know, right? Because it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And we've seen that to be true with Ethereum, because obviously Ethereum is, in terms of technology, they're really behind a lot of these other layer ones, like the ones I've already talked about. But because they know, and they were like, Ethereum is one of the first smart contracts platform that started gaining a lot of adoption and traction in the beginning. It's who they know. They have almost everyone at their disposal, right? Like a lot of these institutions are still working with Ethereum because it's just like the easiest one to build on. But I think that these other ones that are also interoperable, they'll gain that sort of adoption too. We're just a couple years behind with that. But look, Hedera is connected to Boeing, Chainlink Labs, Avery Dennison. You got T-Mobile, Google, and IBM are on board. IBM, it's like Hyperledger, so Hyperledger might as well be on board, because if you look over here, check this out. Announcing Hedera Consensus Service plugins for permissioned blockchain networks. And it's talking about Hedera Consensus Service, how wonderful it is, how flexible it is, and easy for developers to utilize. They're bringing public DLT to the enterprise. It's part of the Hyperledger fabric. You guys already know that this is a partner of Hyperledger. Same thing with Quant and Ripple, and a lot of these institutions that this one is connected to. So really, they're gonna survive. They're here to stay, guys. So all you bears and people that sold the bottom, that sold the dip, because you were paper handing this and you're shaken out by the whales and by the overall market fluctuation. It's hard to say, but this cryptocurrency right here, this network, might gain a 10x push, like we saw with Solana. You know, if it gains that same 10x push, guys, you're gonna see a lot of the metaverse stuff already. You know, instead of happening on Ethereum, instead of being built on Ethereum, like with Decentraland and stuff like that, a lot of that stuff is gonna be, you know, we're gonna be finding that here with Hedera, because Hedera has access, and they you know, they're building their own metaverse, reality, right? Their extended reality on there. So it's gonna be amazing. All these experiences, all these worlds, planets, universes, galaxies are gonna be built on top of this technology. It's gonna be very insane, guys, to be able to own the underlying asset that facilitates that sort of utility and use case. And look, Hedera 10x away from being at Solana's market cap. Solana gained that massive push in price action. And it was only like around $2, right? During most of 2020. The fact that it's now close to $200 is insane. You know, hindsight will tell you that you should have put all your money, you should have probably bet the farm on this back then, and now you'd be a millionaire. But you know, it's hindsight. You should have, would have, could have. You know, now I'm looking at other opportunities that are similar to Solana, and I'm seeing maybe not a 100x, but a 10x with something like HBAR, and that's only the beginning, because that's like what Solana did literally this year alone. It did a 10x, went from 20 something dollars to $200 in I was gonna say like a year, but it's less than a year. It's only like 5 months. So really, Hedera is probably like a few months away from something like that. And it's not too far-fetched to say that, is it? With all these connections, all these partnerships that it already has established and everything. And it's pretty agnostic, and it will be able to work with other technologies as well, just like Avalanche. It's going to be working with Quant and Ripple and Electroneum with the Digital Pound Foundation to create the digital GVP. You know, this will allow for CBDC development to take place on this layer one, and also drive up the price, because of the transactions that are going to take place. This is only the beginning, okay? So I don't know why people would sell at like literally halfway point to the all-time high that we've been battling to keep, because it looks like there's a lot of resistance up here. But once we break that, the sky's the limit. This could perform like XRP did and last cycle. Pretty much not. I'm not gonna say guaranteed. I'm not gonna make any promises, right? Because this is not financial advice whatsoever. These are my own opinions. But I literally a 10x from here is what XRP did last cycle. So yeah, I hope y'all loved this video, man. And if you did, definitely leave a like, comment on it, subscribe to my channel if you're new. Leave any suggestions you have in my comments. I'll get to it as soon as possible. This has been the Crypto Slayer. I'm out.